I don't know how to approach this subject because it's pretty specific. Because I wanted to have you on to talk about what you're coming from Toronto for. So actually, for the listeners' benefit, what are you coming to Toronto for?
Coming to Toronto November 5th, 6th. It's going to be, it's called The Art of Building a Real Estate Business. There's kind of 3 pillars to it. First is a lot of people are talking about finding clients, which is definitely pretty easy to do, but not many people are talking about keeping clients. Like how many times does a real estate agent do a deal with someone that had a real estate agent at one point? Like it's just every person you almost ever deal with, less new investors and new home buyers had a real estate agent. I think it's a massive hole is that you don't keep your clients. Because I'm thinking, look, why do you struggle after like 3-4 years? You should have a base. And it's just like, I've coached guys that are like 10 years, 15 years in the business. And I'm like, how many contacts, how many deals have you done? Oh, about 800. And where's your list? Where's your base? Like, what did you do to keep them? And so the first pillar that we're going to be focusing on is finding clients and keeping clients. The next one is all about an area that's like super passionate, because I started as a real estate agent just to kind of prove that it was a bit of there's a lot of white space. There's a lot of things that people aren't doing. And obviously my, I guess my stats and all, what I've accomplished kind of goes before me a bit. But the biggest thing is it's taking people away from families, taking away from people, the relationship with themselves. It's killing it. And it's like, when's the last time I became an agent? And it's like, I have to work every single evenings and weekends. And sure, it can be fantastic money and you definitely get to control your outcome in so many levels. But in one way, it's like handcuffs. And I think the reason for that, it doesn't have to be. So the second thing we're going to talk about is going to be about buying back your time. And this is a huge, huge topic. How many people have I coached? Like, I'm at 200,000. I can't break 200 grand. I'm like, how? I said, that's because you're trying to out hustle the business. And hustle's important. Like, it really is. Like, I can tell you right now, you can hustle yourself to maybe 400,000. Like, if you're a hustler, but you have no life, and you're probably about to get divorced if you do. like if there's anything I can tie my own heart to, it's I want to show people how to build a business around their real estate job, so they can buy back their weekends, evenings, and actually learn how to do those things. So hire an assistant, put in systems that are automated. Like, you don't do feedback anymore. Like, start doing the things like a business owner. Like me, like Erwin, if me and you started a restaurant, we never would sit and say, who's doing the dishes, who's doing the cooking. We would say, we need to hire this out. We need to make enough revenue to cover this. Now let's look at our profit margins. That's a business owner. But in real estate, it's all what they celebrate is gross revenue. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. It actually makes me kind of mad. They get put on pedestals because they made $1 million. No one ever asked that person how much their expenses.
Yeah, marketing expenses usually through the roof.
It's the stupidest thing in the world, right? Well, if you're taking the normal road, like if you got the dough, here's what you do. You buy 40, 50 bus benches. You buy every single thing. You mail the living crap out of the town. And yeah, you're going to spend 400,000 to make your $1 million. Like, but the problem is the market turns. You're in trouble, man. Like, you're in trouble. Plus, you're chaos if you don't have business. Like right now, personally, I'm doing maybe one sale a month. Not even. Like, I'm out. And all my agents are doing the work. So I meet with them on their meetings. I support them. I coach them. And I'm doing what I want to do. Like, next Tuesday, I'm taking my daughter out for a day date. Renee's like, hey, I got an appointment. Can you take Heaven? I said, done. Boom. Clear the schedule. Jump on a date. You know, like today I went home and saw I let the dogs out and just whatever, like, and actually making money right now, because it's taken me 5 years, but we're one of the top teams in all of Western Canada because of outsourcing the things that don't make you money, and just do the things you like to do. Like, it's self-awareness. Like, to be honest with you, I might look smart because I've outsourced and built a business. I'm just so bad at admin. I'm one of the worst, like, admin persons. I'm disorganized, can't spell. I get shit on all the time. My spelling and grammar. I have to outsource that stuff because I look terrible and I'm not that good. It'll take me forever to do paperwork. So I actually, part of it is not because like, oh, I'm smart. It's because I had to. But I also understood that I knew I need to outsource. I've done that. And the third thing I think is a huge hole in the industry, and it's I'm gonna talk a lot about avoiding self-sabotage. So self-sabotage can be partnering with the wrong person, changing your brokerage, maybe moving things, paying money to marketing firms that shouldn't be. Maybe you are going to choose to not be a listing person because I'm more into buyers. Well, that just talks about insecurity. There's so many different things personally that holds us back. Mm-hmm. Like even our mindset where it's like, I was coaching a girl 2 days ago and she says to me, I'm not really that salesy. Okay. So it was our first coaching session. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, what industry are you in? I said, aren't you selling houses? And so she, well, no, I'm salesy. I said, well, let me just try this. I said, I think you're going to try to do a sales job and you're not salesy. Like you don't like being salesy. So I said, first of all, we got to unwind this thinking. I said, can I try to reframe what you're saying? She goes, yeah. I said, let's take this apart a little bit. And this is the personal sabotage. This is the personal things that hold us back, the way we get in our own way, and it really limits income and connection. So she says, I said, what if we just reframed it saying, I don't like human beings that are out for themselves, that say whatever they need to say to get whatever they would need to get from you. She goes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said, that's not salesy. I said, sales is I find the problem, I solve the problem, and I make the sale. I said, that's all you're doing for your clients. If they say, hey, I don't like this one, you say, well, what do you like? Well, I want to have a west-facing backyard. Boom, solve the problem, make the sale. Sales is simple. And I said, most people are very much looking for a salesperson to sell their house. So I said, just to reframe it, because you're going to avoid certain conversations. You're going to avoid doing the things you need to do, all because you're not thinking, you got a limiting thought. Maybe it's not a good example, but it's just a limiting thought. You know what I'm talking about, Erwin?
I hear limiting thoughts a lot. I think we all have them.
Yeah.
I think we have, but it's it's not a black or white thing. I think we all have varying degrees of limiting beliefs. And what was the other word when you were talking about whole in industry? Self-sabotage. Like there's varying degrees of it. Yeah,
right. Totally. Yeah, like if you don't like even putting people on pedestals. Like if you don't think like you'll chase everyone else's ideas because you don't believe in your own ideas. It's a massive problem. Mm-hmm. Or if my parents told me this is the way to do it, or these people are bad, or like there's so many things that we believe that just need to be unwind and reframed a little bit.
I have a favorite one. I heard this just recently. Someone's getting their license. They're asking me questions about getting a license. I'm sure you get this one all the time. He asked like, what are the costs? And then that's just part of the equation is like, what do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
And he comes back with, well, if I just buy my own house with my license, then it'll make it worth it. So then my comment back to him was, well, if you don't value what an agent does, especially a really, really good one,
exactly,
then how can you ever expect to be one for someone else?
Exactly. Huge. So that's why those guys never make any money because they don't believe in what they do.
Yeah.
The problem is there's a lot of people doing nothing for their money. That's the issue. That's why the for sub owners and Comfreys and all these other places they can actually get a place in the market, all these discount brokerages, because if you're paying for a real estate agent to put a sign in your lawn, why would you freaking pay that guy? Forget that. That's and to do the same things, just going on MLS, honestly, go to Comfrey, put a lockbox in your house. It's super easy. Like just sell it yourself. If you want something else, like that, be something else. This is about blow the minds of the clients. You got to raise the bar. We're as an industry are in trouble. You don't think that it's going to be outsourced? Most of this stuff's going to be outsourced. What are we going to be needing us for? This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about blowing their minds. So you don't win business from being the best agent and the smartest agent. You win by being liked. It'd be by trusting them, connecting to them on a personal level. Like there's so much about this that's just not taught. Like for example, okay, like I just think about the guy that you go and like you how long have you been a real estate agent?
Since 2010.
2010. Okay. Have you ever lost to like Cousin Jimmy?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Why? You're probably one of the best agents, hands down. And then guess what? Cousin Jimmy, who just got his license, beats you.
Yeah.
Guess what? They like him better than you. So there's ways to win in this game that's through connection and through other things. Like for example, like here's an example. I was brand new agent. I was competing on this. First of all, I trained my sellers. Every seller is trained on how to refer me. And it's a very conscious thing. They say, hey, give me some cards. I'd love to hand them out. Okay. So what do I say? I say, yeah, here's some cards, but here's the thing. Don't give them away, because what I want you to do is just say, hey, I'll get Ben to give you a call. I'll get my real estate agent to give you a call.
Right.
My conversion ratio went up from like 10% to like 90%. So this happened. Lady calls and leaves me. She calls and says, my client says, hey, you've got to call this lady. She's going to fire her real estate agent. She's looking for a new one. I told her I did what you said. I said I was going to give her your call. So what you do is you call her and say, I promised Judy that I would call you. It's a way different, easy approach to get your referral.
Right.
So I said, okay, great. I'd love to come by. Now, speed. These are other things. Speed has got to be you got to be so fast in this business, because even if you suck and you're terrible at everything, if you're fast, you make a good living because it looks like you're amazing. Like, oh, I'll show that to you right now. Like you beat all the big guys that are busy. But the thing is, so what I did was I set up the meeting. I said, tomorrow, let's do it. And it was like 5:00 at night. And I said, tomorrow at noon. I try to make it so it looks like it's almost so fast, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the work, put the full presentation together, do the full assessment, and I'll be coming really, really prepared. And it looks like, how the heck did you get all this done in this short amount of time? I'm trying to create that. But the big thing is I drive out to their house. I put a thank you card in their door before I meet them. And I'm new, right? And so what happens, I put the door, but the thank you card is not just, hey, how you doing? It's a simple line. Hey, you know what? I just want to say that trust is always earned. It's one thing I learned in this business is trust is earned. It's not always freely given. I hope I can earn your trust. I look forward to seeing your house tomorrow. I go in the next day. I step in the house, and I'm competing against one of the top agents in the entire city. If they wanted experience, I lose. But guess what's sitting on the mantle? My thank you card. I walk in, I do my thing, and I leave. I got the listing, and I beat the guy. Didn't have a chance because of my little thank you card. Like, there's just different things to do that are going to create a conversation that happens behind your back. But us agents and that thank you card looks like a love note. It's a white envelope with their name on it, and that's it. And it's a white card that says thank you. There's nothing branded in it. It's the biggest mistake people make, is just put their face on everything. It's old school thinking. I get that there's a point to it. I guess there's a point to it. I'm not saying it's not. It just doesn't have a converting mechanism where you can, and it's always like, are they really going to put my face on their mantle? Probably not. But a white little thank you card? Ooh, you bet. So we're thinking a little bit more. We got to think less of branding and more about converting and connecting. Right. If you know what I mean.
And also, it sounds like almost everything you're trying to do is almost the opposite direction as well, which seems to be coming up a lot in the marketing stuff that I'm picking up on. Do the opposite of what everybody else does.
I wish it was that easy, because I would just find the pattern and then change it. But I think it's still got to be thoughtful. I think if we can have our marketing built out of thoughtfulness, okay? So for when you're doing showings, are you asking questions so you're preparing for the housewarming gift the day you meet them? I want to blow their minds. I want to think it I hope that they say, you know what, there's this bottle of wine that I've always wanted. I can't find it. It's from Chile. I don't even know. I'm just making this shit up. But you know what? If I can find that wine, I win. I'll have that client for life. I'll blow their minds. That is fun. You want to have a fun. This business can be the worst grind ever. You get a few bad clients in a row, this business sucks. But you know what makes it fun is when you roll out the red carpet, they're at key release, the entire neighborhood is watching you do this. You're breaking out the champagne, you pull out that wine, and they say, how the hell did you remember this? Because once you figure it out, you shut your mouth and never speak of it again. And this is so if it was opposite, all I'm thinking is, how do I connect? What would I love? And I also was a real estate investor for a lot of years, man. Tell you this right now, I went and bought 16 condos in this condo conversion that was going under. And I was just picking up her super cheap, okay? One real estate agent before I was an agent. This is why I almost didn't want to become an agent. I had so much judgment. I'm like, these freaking agents. It's because they just, in my head, I'm like, I just made you $100,000 on commissions overnight. It was just unreal. And she didn't even give me any kind of thank you card. There wasn't even a saying. All that she would have to do is say, holy shit, you just made me a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Or just say, thank you. I can't believe how much money I just made. Or, hey, Ben, here's a freaking trip to Disneyland. You just made 100. Why don't you throw a $5 back at me? But you know what the truth is? Just a little recognition that I helped her out and I made a lot of money for her. That's all I'd need. I don't need to be wined and dined. And I'm thinking, if this is the bar, I'm going to destroy this business. If this is the bar, they lose, because I'm gonna blow them away. I literally would buy them a Disneyland trip. If you make me $100,000 or one, you're getting a Disneyland trip. You're getting something but I would probably do some investigation behind your back. I would talk to some people. I'd try to do full-blown investigation to figure out what the heck can I get it so your head almost blows up when I give it to you. You're like, well, how the hell did you do this? And then you're going to know how thoughtful I was, how far I went, and that's going to be the nitro fuel to your conversation that you're going to tell every single person about you. And that's the same thing I do in my podcast. I can't tell you what I do because when I have a guest on my show, those guests get surprises. But they're very specific, very, very customized, all kinds of cool stuff. But that's all secret stuff because I want the marketing to be behind my back and not advertised.
Fascinating.
So why is that fascinating?
Nobody else does it.
Nobody else does that?
Yeah. Find me someone who does it.
Dude, I can't believe that. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is so easy, right?
Yeah, but some of the agents are lazy. Right?
Well, I don't think they have an example. Like you got this bar that's like so low that if you even show up on time, it's pretty good sometimes.
Right. Like, I'll give you a quick example. You know? We just did a deal on a fourplex, and one of the units was unavailable for showings. It's always that way, right? We show up for the inspection, and there's like it's like a zoo inside. This guy's an animal collector, reptiles, aquariums, right?
Been there, done it.
Yeah, right. And so there's humidity, there's all those related issues with having a zoo in your unit, right? Not a big unit, single guy. So then there's one of my team members. He calls the agent. He goes, "Hey, this isn't right. Like, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, it's perfectly fine." He goes, "How can it be fine? Have you seen the unit?" He goes, "No, I haven't seen it." Okay, so who has anyone seen it? Has the owner seen it? Like, no, the owner hasn't seen it. Has the property manager seen it? No, he hasn't seen it either. So where are you negotiating from? Yeah, none of you have seen this. Go see it.
Jeez.
This is the reality, and this is why.
No, but the thinking is wrong from the brokerage level, all from the very start. It's they come into the business and they don't like. It's like if the brokers would sit down and blow their freaking minds. Mm-hmm. Like I think about the onboarding process of brokers. Okay, let's imagine this. I hope I'm wrong in some level. I really do. Yeah. But in my own office, okay, in my own office, it's a huge brokerage. It's a Remax office, and they're one of the best in the whole city. Okay, I bring on agents onto my team, so I'm thinking the same thing. Remember, blow their minds. How do you get it? So it's like, how can you be like, this is the best team I've ever been part of? How can I get my team to be blown away? Mm-hmm. How do my wife be blown away? But that's through authenticity, connection. But like everything I do, it's not a game, it's a lifestyle for me. And so when I think about a new agents coming onto my team, I'm there. First of all, I show up for the signing of the documents, right? So explain to me what your onboarding system is at your office. What happens to a new agent that's coming into are you with Remax?
No, Rockstar Real Estate.
Rockstar. Is that your brokerage?
No. Okay. I get that a lot. Because it's Dominic Carazza.
Rockstar. Okay, so let's just say this. What happens when you go in? So a new agent joins Rockstar. What happens?
At Rockstar?
Yeah, so what happens? You go in, sign some papers, you connect with your, what is it? Like what happens? Give me the steps.
All of them? Wow.
Well, I guess not all of them. Give me a concept of the new guys signing up to become part of the brokerage. What happens? Right. What's the experience? Let's grade the experience.
Right. A lot of it's done up front, right?
Yep.
The vast majority of agents at Rockstar were members and clients of, and that is by far the biggest source of agents for the company.
Okay.
They don't even do any recruiting. They don't even tell anyone that we're taking people on. They just
I love that already. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
So let's just say, how can we up the game? Let's just think about this, okay? So when I'll just tell you what I do, and I'm thinking, why aren't brokerages doing anything to blow their minds on the there's a huge hole is onboarding a new agent. Mm-hmm. So the new agent shows up in the office to sign the contract. Mm-hmm. Which is brutal. You're signing a contract, first of all. So the experience is like, geez, I got to sign this contract that I don't really know what I'm signing. Mm-hmm. So what I do is when a new agent shows up, I show up with them in the office with the manager signing this person up because they're coming on my team. But I come with champagne. I come with glasses.
Yeah.
And I come and I have every single team member on a 15-minute increment come and stop in during and interrupt the meeting and say, oh, hey, I was just in the area. I want to say I'm so pumped to have you. I can't wait to connect with you. Love that you're part of the team. So I have surprise little guest through the whole signing, popping in. Then she gets a massive bouquet of flowers and then kind of a mini little photo shoot in front of the brokerage sign and say, welcome aboard. I'm not the end of all be all. It's not like, oh, how great you are. I'm just thinking there's holes in the business. If we think about the experience you give on every single step of the way, I think that's how we grade our business, not on gross revenue anymore.
Right. I took the team to a CN Tower Edge Walk. That's pretty mind blowing.
Oh, go. Yeah. No, I think people do a lot of good jobs. I'm thinking there's just holes. Where's the holes in our businesses?
There's always holes.
For example, I took my business card and I thought, who wants business cards? And I thought, my business card has no value. And you're like a schmuck. Hey, you want my business card? Like, there's just like so much around it that's so old school. So what I did, I put a free cookie on my business card. I went and networked with a local company that they could take my business card, go get a free cookie. So then when I could hand it out, it at least worth $1.50. And it would be literally my line. I'm at a coffee shop and I'm like, there's a kid there. I'm like, hey, you want a free cookie? Like an old guy. And guess what? Oh yeah. Do you want to sell a house? Boom. Like, you just have to think. Like, I even say, well, at least my card's worth $1.50, and tell you right now, you're probably going to throw away every other agent's card except mine. Ha ha ha. Like, how's your voicemail? What is the experience you're giving on every single step of the way? Raise your game through experience grading versus gross revenue grading. Or even like, how many deals did you do this week? Like it's just like it's the same conversations in this real estate world. I'm surprised that I truly am blown away that no one else is talking like this. I think it's like so obvious. Don't like when you say, oh, no one's doing it, like no one's doing that. That can't be.
I've never seen that before. I've seen a lot. We talked about this earlier. I've seen a lot of agents where when I actually meet them in person, I'm used to seeing their sign for sale sign picture and their business card picture. Like, this ain't you.
Yeah. No doubt. A lot of women change their hair color too. It's risky, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I remember one girl had like jet black hair in all of her advertising, and then you meet her in person, it's complete silver. So it's like,
wow. And silver be good branding.
Yeah, that's
so I think that's one thing I'm going to talk about at the event is branding versus marketing. So first of all, no one ever deconstructs. They just go, yeah, we're marketing. Okay, what does that mean? Well, deconstruct it. What is marketing? Like, and this is what we're going to break down. Marketing is not like, there's a couple functions in marketing that does it have the ability to ask for business, or does it just get you exposure? Like, there's some things to break down. So because one is long game, one is short game. So marketing has a short game element and it has a long game element. But 90% of real estate agents are playing the marketing game and the long game element. It's our long game side of it, because, like, for example, putting my face on a shopping cart. You're going to tell your buddies, dude, I just landed the Safeway. Sweet. I got like 45 shopping carts with my face on it. Long game. Hey, you know what? Like, long game. I don't know where my sales are. I've got all this marketing going. No, you're doing long game marketing. You have to have a mixture of long game and short game. You know what I mean? A short game is simply asking for business, doing follow-ups, and promising shit. Like, that's like, if you're not doing those three things, you're absolutely not going to win. You'll have to wait, and you got to survive to get this imagery up. But all I got to do is buy more imagery than you, and I win at that game. So you don't want to play the same game. It's whoever got the deeper pockets dominates. And I don't like spending money on marketing.
That's why I like referrals. Podcasts. Yeah, referrals are huge. And that's the funny thing. We talk about referrals, and I had a sore point when you're making fun of me about losing to Cousin Vinny.
I know. It's like, how did I lose to this guy?
Because in my business, our average, because we work with investors, a lot of investors, like over 90% of our business, a lot of them are older than us. As in like 40 plus, right? Yeah. And they all have agents, but because we offer something that our agent doesn't, they come to us. And then the funny part is if you're that person's agent, why didn't you refer them to me in the first place and actually make some money? Yeah,
get a 25% cut, or I'll negotiate to 50.
Right.
So what are you doing right now to blow the minds of your investor clients? So they would run around and going, holy shit, this guy, you got to talk to this guy, fire every real estate agent you know. This is the one guy. How are you creating that conversation?
So put in a lot of content like this podcast. Like people, I get it all the time. People come to my meetings. I try to make it very affordable. Yeah. Try to connect with people.
So you're doing educational, kind of an educational way.
Educational. Yeah. And then the referral part / testimonial is in this meeting. This is a regular meeting, as in, so my clients are already in the room. You want to know how it is to work with us? Just ask any one of them.
Yeah, right? Smart. I always say if I was going to, I'm not a big client appreciation event guy because of cost of it and the one-time hit. And if I was to do it though, it'd be 50 to 80%, no, probably 50-50 clients and prospects. So that'd be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Plus I'd have a converting mechanism like a money tunnel or something where everyone would have to give me a name, address, everything and register. And then I'd have like a whole thing worth talking about. Like, you know what a money tunnel is?
No, it's the first I've heard of it.
I'm gonna do it one day. You're gonna go into it. You can rent them. I'm not joking. Like stuff that's
like with the money blowing around.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I would do something like that where the winner gets, and then I'd have make it so it's like really cool. But a lot of people do client appreciation events, which is good. But why don't you bring all your prospects? Well, that's a big deal. That's another thing we're gonna chat about is do you track your prospects? That's one of the biggest holes in the industry as well. Like 99% of people, probably 100% of people have ever coached, and that's nationwide, even North America. Right. It's like, hey, right on, here's your client list. He's like, it's kind of okay. It's pretty much here. I started it in the program, and it's usually not there. Yeah. And then the second thing is going, okay, cool. Where's your prospects? Well, it's notepads, it's texts, it's everything. All you got to do is organize that, and you win. Yeah. You start marketing the same way. Like you send birthday gifts. Why don't you do birthday gifts to your prospects? You see your conversion ratio just jump. Instead
of doing birthday cards, we do 5-year anniversary cards for the property,
which makes sense for you because it's an investment.
Yeah.
Like if you were, this is one thing. It's funny you say that because you think about this. Like some people are like, "Yep, I give an anniversary gift for my client." Let's think about that for a sec. Let's deconstruct that. Not you, because an investor is different. When I was an investor, I had like 61 properties. I had all my investors for Christmas. I would get ornaments with a house with the address of their investment on it and date. And it'd be a Christmas ornament. So, and then it would be like, so every year they get to put it on there and that's when they bought their investment. So that was kind of cool. But the thing is though, let's think about this. How many people are throwing a party for the first year anniversary of buying their condo? Like nobody.
Throwing a party?
I'm just saying, what do we celebrate? How many people are throwing a party for the birthday every year? They're partying, they're celebrating birthdays, they celebrate Halloween, they celebrate new babies, they celebrate so many things. The last thing on your list is the anniversary. So if I was to say, Erwin, just want to tell you, I got something for you. It's a magnet with my face on it. No, let's just say
what you wanted.
Yeah, I got you a gift basket. Because I just want to say it was 1 year ago today. We did that deal together. Okay. In theory, it sounds good, but look at the psychology. No one's celebrating it, so you're celebrating yourself. Like, just want to remind you of me. Because no one's celebrating it. And everyone's like, I always send something on the anniversary. Nobody cares. Send something on their birthday. Find out when their kid's birthday are. Find out when the anniversary is. There's 50,000 different things to celebrate. And all we do is send something on their anniversary they buy. Again, if it's an investment, totally different. Totally different. I usually do an album, before and after pictures and different things like that for investors. Right.
I send it with brownies, so that way I know for sure that thing is getting opened.
Yeah, nice.
Right. Pictures from the listing, and I always write a note because there's always a funny story. Every deal has a funny story, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, do you remember the guys that lived there and they had like snakes everywhere, like stuff like that? So there's always a personalized message from me.
And even if someone doesn't have the infrastructure to get getting the brownies, writing the letter, that stuff gets missed. I guarantee you, get busy, you don't do it. Right. So even a video voice message is the simplest way, the most personal way. Instead of sending a text, just do a video message, text it to them and say, guys, I just want to say, remember that guy? I was thinking about it. It's your 5-year anniversary. That there will still have a good impact because it's your face and it's personal and he took a second and you know what I mean? And then one little tip on communication, it's like instead of just saying, hey, I really appreciate you working for me and I love the fact, like that's not vulnerable. If you can explain why. It's a little technique I use because I learned it with my wife. I tell my wife, I'd be like, man, I love how you clean up love how you work so hard. And I would give her lots of compliments. And then we'd be in this like relationship coaching a few years ago. And she's like, he just doesn't hear me. He doesn't appreciate me. I'm like, what the F? I tell you all the time. And Kelsey Grant, who was helping us at the time, who I do a little live coaching with now, but she says, Ben, you have to explain why you really appreciate her cleaning the kitchen and why you appreciate when she does the laundry for you. And not just like, Renee, I really appreciate the laundry. So I always say, Renee, I really appreciate the laundry because when I wake up and I see my stuff hanging in my closet, you can't believe how much I love that. And when I'm looking for my, clean pair of Gaunch and it's sitting there fresh, it's just like magic. I said, you give me such an amazing experience from doing, like, look at the difference. So when we thank our clients, always throw a why in there. Mm-hmm. And when we appreciate our clients, why? Like, hey, thanks for having me on the podcast. That's one way to do it. I think that's boy style. Yo, thanks, buddy. You're the best. It's like, let's time it a little bit deeper and go, you know why I appreciate it? Just the fact that you spent a lot of money, you got to edit this and you've got to go through this. I just want to say how much I appreciate being on the show. It just gives me exposure, and you don't have to do that. And it's a really big vote of confidence for what I'm doing. And you're putting your name on the line with my event. And see, there's a thank you. And that means something. Mm-hmm. And it also connects you to yourself. So just a little side note. Man, that was true, by the way.
You're good people. And it's funny because the show is called Truth About Real Estate Investing, and then there's lots of not good people. It's just I haven't had them on the show.
You should, and then just fight them. I'm not joking. Be like, dude, you're not a good person. What do you mean? You're a liar.
All those people you screwed over?
Yeah, you remember the time you screwed the guy? Yeah, I know. I think actually kind of an interesting segue to self-awareness, which is the opposite of self-sabotage. Because if you know yourself, you won't sabotage yourself. You'll make really good decisions. Mm-hmm. And the more you know yourself, the more you can read people. And that's one thing that I've found that's been the side effect to just personal growth, is having such a tough, starved street kid and drugs and all this crazy life I had, mm-hmm. is that I had to figure myself out. And the side effect was I really know people. I can see right through them. And it's really interesting lately. I hired this one guy. He's a video guy. And he's doing some work for me, and he took an ad out, like it's a social media video guy. And I sat with this guy, and I said, I just talked to him. I said, look, I don't need you to do like monthly updates and stuff like that. I said it's hard to measure a social media manager, to be honest. It's hard to like you putting posts up and all this. And I said it'd be better for me just to hire a marketing guy that would just do my Facebook ads versus just do my posts. And he said, well, that's why I always go for the old people. And I'm like, what? And I wouldn't have seen that before, but what I saw was a guy that was dishonest and willing to take advantage of people. Mm-hmm. But he's a great dude, and it slipped through his mouth, and he didn't even see it. And I'm like, yep, eventually that's me. So he's no longer the guy in my life. And it's just amazing how safe you can be, mm-hmm. if you can see. Like, I could never see that before because I would have been thinking about my world while I talked to him. I'd be thinking of, so now I'm going, wow, interesting. That guy wants to take advantage of people, and he's okay with that. Mm-hmm. It was a character thing I saw. I see more things like that now, and I can navigate so successfully. Before, you're like, oh, I met this guy. There's this amazing opportunity. And you don't really know. Like, I just talked to a lady that was going to partner the other day. Oh, I'm going to partner with this girl. I said, why? Do you know who she is? Well, she's good and everything. I started dissecting it. She has no clue who she is. She doesn't even know. And there's a couple even things that she doesn't even like about her.
Yeah.
But she's ignoring it, though. There's just a lack of self-awareness.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing when people choose agents. When you lose to Uncle Phil or Cousin Phil.
That's true, man. It's true.
When you lose to the people that we run into this a couple times where it's a divorcing couple, and because we're friends with one party, like the other party doesn't want us. You don't understand. Like, we're gonna give you everything we got. Right?
Yeah, that's when you bring a second team member in, cut your commissions, be proactive, and say, look, I got someone that's gonna deal with you. We want to separate this. We understand divorce. We very much cater to that. Here, this is Kieran. She's gonna deal with the girl. I'm gonna deal with the boy. We're gonna be separated. Just to have that option. You know what I mean? You can just tailor it to the divorce versus trying to manage both sides. I do well managing both sides, when I'm doing it, but definitely you could bring in, way more proactive. You just make a little bit less money, but the conversation and the experience is well worth the investment, because the conversation about how you deal with divorce could be a brand.
Right. Interesting. We actually have that deal right now. Maybe we should even suggest it.
Why not? Even if you suggested it, it would take the elephant out of the room. Mm-hmm. Like, be way more proactive with objections. People avoid things. Again, self-awareness. I don't like confrontation. Oh, great. Let's avoid that conversation, and let's just roll the dice. No, let's go right at it. Say, hey, you know what? This is divorce. We deal with it a lot. It sucks on both sides. A lot of times we get in between two people. We have full confidence I can handle both sides. There's no problem. But to make you comfortable, I've got a couple other guys that can easily come in, girl and guys, if you'd like. And be like, no, I'm good with you. Boom, you're good. It's settled. It's done. Mm-hmm. They chose you. But if there's that underlining feeling that he kind of is into the guy, she's like, they're buds now. I would say at any time, just ask. We've got 3 or 4 people that would love to. I'll share my commissions to make sure that you guys are happy.
All right.
Boom. And just the class, you know?
Interesting. I was wondering if I should share, but then as soon as you think should I share, you should share. So in this case, one of the parties is not well financially. So we were going to do it for below what we normally charge.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then to have to deal with all the drama as well, just to help them out because they're going to go into community housing.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
yeah,
I don't need to charge this person. Right. We just want to make sure this person's taken care of.
Totally. Absolutely, man. I think when it comes to lowering commissions and things, most of the time we get full pop, but sometimes I sell for $500. Give me $500, cover some of my costs. I'll get it done. And there's a win. If there's always a win. It's got to be authentic though. So, but to be honest with you, on a strategy perspective, if someone's a new agent or someone wants to break into a neighborhood, people are like, what do I do? I'm like, go find every for sale by owner and list them for free. Why that? You want to fast track the living crap out of you? How did I make almost just under like $500,000 my first calendar year? I'm all fast track. Let's cut the corners. Let's get to. I will do like I worked for a real estate agent for 30 days for free just so I could learn how to open lock boxes. But it would just happen to be that he threw me deals. I sold 5 deals in my first month, and it's so crazy because we're like, why wouldn't you just go list a house for free? Go up to the door and say, hi, I'm a new agent. I want to break into this neighborhood. I understand you chose to go for sale by owner. I want to tell you right now that I 100% appreciate that. No problem at all. And I would love to sell this thing. And maybe you would like me so much that you tell your friends about me. But I got a deal for you. I want to break in this neighborhood. I want a sold sign on a house. I want to door knock the entire neighborhood. I want to give her like crazy. And I'm going to be hardworking, blah, 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 super energetic. And I'm going to give her. And so here's the deal. I want to list the property, but the only thing is I gotta offer somewhat of a commission for someone else because it's hurting you. If you don't want to do that, I'll still try. Okay. I'll do open houses, do everything. And all I want is to break into this neighborhood, and I'm going to do it on the back of your listing. And if you wouldn't mind me doing that, I'll do it. I'll even take a loss. I just want to get in the game. Guess what you're going to get? A buyer. You're going to get a buyer. You're going to make money anyways. And by the time he's listing, you probably could even negotiate a bit of money for yourself. What if you had 3 listings in the neighborhood? Now you just go. You paid $2,000-$3,000 for marketing. Don't just go do a listing for free. There's no costs, no loss, no money.
Right.
So it's just not thought like that because again, the broker just say don't lower your commissions, but that's okay sometimes. I say if you've got low value and you lower your commissions, we got a major problem. You're going to get clients that take advantage of you. Now that's the inside. That's the self-sabotage. That's the self-awareness. So that's the inside questions. That's if you constantly have bad clients, I can guarantee you it's probably a self-issue, low self-esteem, or you are a conflict avoider, or you're a people pleaser. Because those are the easiest people to control. You just say, you've disappointed me. You're not doing a good job, and you watch them jump. It's something that I'm talking about my old life, who I used to be. That's why I know this.
Fascinating. See, I see so many people that just get into this industry because they, I live west of Toronto. Average price in GTA for a house is over $1 million. So everyone's just counting the commission, and that's why they get into it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you have anything to say about that?
So, oh man,
people think they're gonna make $25K every commission.
Let me just think about this. Well, 9 out of 10 fail, so there's your answer. But I'm okay with coming into it for money. I'm totally okay with that.
Oh yeah, totally,
absolutely. For $25,000 a deal, great. But here's the thing: you want to build a real business. Then don't come into it going, "I'm going to sell a house." You're going to lose. Means you're a loser. You will lose. Don't come in, I'm going to sell a house. This will be great. I'm only going to sell like 5 a year. Nope. This is a momentum game. You get momentum, you start making money. But to build momentum takes a hell of a lot of work. To keep momentum is very easy. The problem is they lose momentum, they gain momentum, they lose momentum, and you want to die because it sucks. And that's I'm a mission to change that feast and famine cycle because they didn't put systems in place that are automated, and they didn't have an assistant to do some things that they don't like to do to fast track their business so they can actually be selling property and enjoying their family. Now, people come into the business for money, no problem, but build a business. Don't think that you're going to have it easy. It's not easy. It is the hardest business I've ever seen in like a sales gig, but the highest paying. There's an old coach that I listened to like years ago, Hopkins, and he says, this is the highest paid, hardest work, lowest paid, easy work. And I'm like, that is so true. Because you want to know, I go out there and if I talk to 10 people a day, I win. Look how easy that it is. And let me just flip to the other side. It's the easiest business I've ever been in. Like Erwin, do you know what I'm going to do? Mark my word. I'm going to have a TV show. It might be a YouTube show, and it's going to be called Deal a Day. And I want to challenge anyone that can. I want to say, ready, set, go. I'll find a deal faster than you can find a deal.
Nice.
And I'm going to run around the city and just ask people for business. And it'll be like, I will just debunk the excuse that says, oh, I don't know where to get business. I'm on my social media. Just go ask 10 people. I can't do that. I'm insecure because that's weird. Get over it. Just go ask someone. Just say, hey, look, I'm a real estate agent. I'm trying to ask 10 people a day for business. Do you know what I'm buying or selling? People are going to, and just go, look, wouldn't you want a real estate agent willing to talk to a stranger?
No.
Like if you'd want an agent willing to talk to someone that's strange. If I was selling your house, wouldn't you want me to go talk to someone that's a stranger? That's the same skill I'm using right now. I'm talking hardcore, but I'm just saying you don't have to be that hardcore. But I'm saying that the thing is people waste so much time and effort and doing things and so much BS excuses when if you just ask for business and you did a follow-up, like it's literally how you get momentum. But there's so many distractions. You got to cut through all of that. What do you think?
I think because I've been to those what's it called? Bold trainings. You ever been to one of those? Yeah.
No, I haven't taken any training, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So I've done it like 3 times. I'm a bit of a keener. So as
Good.
part
You're
of that,
coming to mine, right?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm dragging my whole team there.
Nice.
Hopefully, I don't have to drag them after they listen to this. I don't think I have to drag them.
Yeah, there you go. How many people on your team?
I have 3 full time and a couple part time and a couple on the bench, as in like getting licensed.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. So what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say. So as part of that training, was 100 contacts. Was it a day or a week?
Not a day. There's no way it's a day.
Okay, fine. 100 contacts a week.
I'm a maniac at one point, and I could do 100. That's insane.
Right. And it's so awkward though, because then like I get these random emails and random texts like, "Hey, I'm part of a competition."
But there's so many better ways to do it. How about having a cookie on your card? How about doing a contest where you're at an open house and you're inviting people to come to your pumpkin carving competition? There's so many ways to engage in a conversation that's not old school. I just dominated that. I did 10,000 house pumpkin invitation to carve. I negotiated with Sobeys, the grocery store. I put a huge display in the grocery store. So every single person that submitted their pumpkin, I would print it off, drive down to Sobeys and stick it on their glass wall. I delivered 1,000 pumpkins to my neighborhood with an invitation to carve. Now today I have a 300-person list for my contests, and I've marketed that list over and over again. And it's like, that's worth talking about, by the way.
Yeah, I want to hear about the course.
Yeah, what you want to hear about the what?
I want to hear about your course because I was thinking about. I don't know if it would be nearly as efficient.
Amazing. I did coloring contests. I've done. Another one was I got my amazing connection. She's such a great lady. Her name is Kathy. She owns Confetti Sweets. She's been down to the Oscars for her cookies. And I asked her, would you mind giving away a free cookie to an entire neighborhood? And I want to do a mail out because I hate mail outs. But if I give you a free cookie, and I thought, you know what? Free cookie's not enough. I said, I want 6 cookies. I want a half a dozen cookies free for every single person I'm going to market. She goes, okay, done, because we've got a good relationship. I mailed out 10,000 flyers saying, here's a half a dozen free cookies from Ben. By the way, we have a program called the Soft Launch Program. We sell properties exclusively. So if you want to, move in the spring, if you're building a house, then we'll start marketing your house 6 months before you're even ready. And plus this way we have a list of exclusives in our hands when buyers come to us. And that was the ad. So yeah, and it was good. Done lots of stuff. Done lots of stuff that doesn't work too, that were more long game branding that you can't measure, which I hate. I'd like quick turn money, but branding, because I did long-term branding, which was the contest, but I had a converting mechanism, which is the contest. And do you know how you submitted it? On WordPress, there's a voting app or widget, okay? And so what would happen is they would email they would have to have they have to have the pumpkin my ad. They have to have my ad beside the pumpkin and take a picture of it and send it to us. Then we would print it off and we would put it up on our Facebook page. And guess what? 200-300 pumpkins. The more you share, the more you vote, that's how you get to become the winner. You got to share and you got to vote. Mm-hmm. And so there was voting live at the Sobeys and there was voting on the website. But think about it, driving every single person to our website.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many layers. And guess what else? You talk about touches. You don't want to go to one. You don't want to touch. You don't kiss on the first date. You got to get to the fourth or fifth touch because then you're doing a relationship. You're not just meeting and it's not just fun. So what you do is the pumpkin's a one touch. They actually have to come back to me, which was the genius part of it, not my genius. It's the idea that someone would come back to you from your marketing. And not only one, hundreds came back to me. Then what we do is we send another email that says, hey, check it out. You're on the website. Guess what? They share it to all their friends. So there's another touch. Then what happens is we announce all the winners. And guess what? There's 50 prizes. Do you know what? Just so you know, there's a full prize for every human being. Then we send out a mail. I go, I need your address because we're going to mail the prizes. Guess why I want their address? So I can do a stop by. Then I can see prices on houses and I can do all kinds of stuff with an address. The next thing is we literally hand deliver the gifts, like the top 50, and say, hey, just so you know, I'm popping by. Or even if they're not top 50, I say, you know what? Here's the thing. You weren't the winner, but I can't let you go empty-handed. Here's $5 to Dairy Queen. Have an ice cream on me. And guess what? I'm standing at their house delivering this thing. Gives me a chance again to talk to them. Like we're talking, guys, but I can come up with 50 different ways to market, but it's the fundamentals. Have ability to convert, ask for business, have the ability for them to do a follow-up. And then if you really can do it, promise something. So that was the prize. So there's a fundamentals to every bit of marketing we do. But branding is like, yeah, if you want to buy 50 bus benches, you got to buy them all and it'll work. It'll work. But I want to create like a wild conversation behind my back. Like, so what's happened over the years of me doing this? And I haven't done it in a while. But what happens is ask Strathcona, the mums groups on all these Facebook groups, you should see the business we get out of those things, man. It's like, oh, you got to talk to Ben and his team. And man, when we're selling a house, we're using like, but it's not just that, because when they meet us, what we do is we blow them away. We come with gifts. There's so many layers of it. Like, we just want them to seriously, our goal, that sounds really bad. Just how do I disclaimer this? I don't want anyone to be fired. But what would we have to do with the experience we give for someone to say to their friend, fire that real estate agent and hire us? Like, don't get me wrong. We're not going after everyone's business, but we are through referrals. We're not going after it. Your friends are just telling you to fire your real estate agent to hire us. And I'm going to tell you, my first year, I had 4 agents fired. And I didn't mean to. I never went after their business. I was never dirty, ever. But it was like, hey, Ben, we've got this agent. We heard about you. I think we'd like a second opinion. Mm-hmm. I say, okay.
That's awesome.
And so just experience. Just experience.
I hope you go through this process. I hope you go through the system. And what's the date?
November 5th and 6th. So
you're doing it in other cities too, right?
Yep. Going to be in Vancouver in January. And we're going to be doing Edmonton in February, end of February.
Do you have dates?
It's all on the website, agentfromwithin.com. Agentfromwithin.com. And it's got the dates on there. So I think it's the 7th and 8th of January and the 19th, 20th of February. It's filling up already. It's really cool. It's going to be good. I don't know how many people I'm expecting. I'd be really happy to be like, I don't want it to be a massive thing. Like maybe if we get 50 to 100 people, this way then we can have some really good coaching elements where it's like, this is the magic of it, right? Like, I'm not just going to let me just tell you something. I don't like workshops. I hate going to them. So if I'm doing them, it's got to be be good. Because I
can't wait to see this. I'm going to get a pumpkin or something, aren't I? Even though it's November.
All I got to tell you, though, I got to tell you this. If you're going to come, sign up like today or tomorrow for real, because I've got some prizes that are coming. I can't tell you anything else, but just I want you to experience a little bit of the stuff I'm doing. So you have to, once you've registered, like the early birds are getting something special. That's all I can say. And I'd like to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you on the podcast. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Because then everyone can get something. So
this is fascinating.
Like it's gonna be like I don't want it to be like just a step-by-step training guide. Okay. What I want to do is shift the thinking, which I'm hoping doing right now.
Yeah.
Is at all? Do you feel that way?
Oh, totally.
Chatting?
Because after our last conversation, I added a field to our lead tracking spreadsheet. Is what gift are you gonna buy them?
Yeah. Right. But look how simple it's like. It's like this. Why should we pay Ben to be a coach? I'll tell you this. buy your client a gift. Now pay me, please. Like, it just feels so dumb that they can pay me for this. Like, so, but what's coming though? I haven't shared this publicly. I'll share something that I'm working on that I think it's going to be a huge offering coming up here. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. So here's the thing. I've in this industry, this coaching industry, like I've had a program called Business from Within, and that was a 1-year program. It was $1,000 a month. I'd take a very small group of people, like 12 people. I would do a 3-day total like blast of every bit of real estate knowledge I know. We would coach online, these people from all over North America. We would coach all the way through the year, and then I would meet in an amazing location. I would bring personal development retreat together. I would bring in some of my closest friends that are either marriage relationship coaches, inspirational people. I'd have one of the largest boxing gym. We'd have a visit a largest boxing gym who's a friend of mine who owns it. He put us through a whole workout. I'd bring it. I won't even go through all the details, but it was very much personal growth to finish it. And the results of these things, of these people, have just been honestly mind blowing. It's the most fulfilling work I've ever done in my life. And I'm going to do that stuff again. But you know what I thought about? I thought, man, there's so many people that ask me for coaching. Like, it's just, hey, can I coach? How do I work with you? And I don't have offerings because I've been really focused on building a life. Like, people are so focused on money, but I got to tell you one thing. It sounds arrogant, but I don't mean to be, but I feel like I've arrived, Erwin. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've arrived, man. I left rehab after 365 days, and my dream was to have a wife that loved me and have kids that were into me. And I have that today. And it hit me like last year. I'm like, holy shit, I'm so ambitious, but this is all I wanted. So I have to ask myself, if I let it all go and I lived with my wife and kids in a van or something, I'd be a happy guy. I promise you, that's all I want. Right. That's an amazing life. Right. I found a contentment there that's so real for me. Like, and so that means I'm not really attached to the events. I'm not attached to this podcast. I'll shut it all down. I don't fucking care. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've just totally lost train of thought there. I was just thinking about that.
Why you don't have time for coaching? So
yeah, yeah, that's right. So I've been very much protecting my life because I've had problems with being married. I've had my kids not into me, and I'm like, what's the point of being rich and lonely? What's the point? I can't do it. And so I thought, but now I've been building my real estate business. My real estate team's running on its own now, legit. Like, I've got like 2 more listings to go through, and I'm literally every single deal goes to my team, and I'm like, so this is why I'm moving into going. I have more time because I'm taking my time from the team Oosterveld and moving it into what I love, which is inspiring people and shifting mindsets and showing them really cool marketing stuff. And so what I've done is this: how can I build something from a coaching aspect that's going to be world class, like my level? I want to blow your mind. Mm-hmm. But I see the other coaches in this world, like they're great guys, like the Buffinis, the Richard Robbins. I got all the respect in the world for these guys. And I just feel like their programs are serving a purpose, okay? They really do. But I don't want to be the guy that just systemizes it, lands Remax, and they use my stuff. I want to make an impact. Because if it's not about money, what is it about? What it's about is I get to be on this podcast, and maybe Erwin's sitting there going, frick, man, that's a wicked. And I get to shift you a little bit, maybe connect you a little bit with your family somehow. Like, and I get to go and die one day and go, man, I get to impact people. And maybe that's just because I was so screwed up for so long. This is what drives me. I know how to help myself, and I want to help other people. But I know I'm kind of getting long-winded here, but here's what we're doing. Sorry, man. Here's what we're doing. We're starting the Agent from Within Academy. What we're going to do, it's going to be like somewhere around $200 a month. Because I truly believe the market is going to change. I think we probably should be preparing to have the economy move downward a little bit. Yep. I think it'd be wise, just because there's so many big players have pulled all their money out of the market waiting for crashes to happen. Even Tony Robbins is saying that. Like, we're talking some big people that are saying, you know what, 10 years of prosperity, guys, we haven't seen anything bad happen. So I'm thinking, okay, why wouldn't I have a low price coaching program then? Because agents are going to need it. They're not going to afford $1,000 a month. And if I do, there's a certain demographic that does that. So I'm going to $200 a month. I'm going to meet online, 3 coaching sessions, live Q&A. It's going to be me speaking about a topic on client acquisition, branding, marketing for 1 week. The next one will be all about business systems, like hiring an assistant, putting in automated feedback systems, email systems. The third one is going to be personal growth. and I'll be bringing in some like relationship coaching. I'll be bringing in mindset stuff. That's going to be the fun one. So every single month, there's 3 coaching sessions, couple $100 a month. Make it really, really inexpensive because I can scale it, right? It's the same meeting for me, so I want to make it. And then what's really cool, is going to be a premium thing. This is like 90% done, but there's a premium level where you're going to have access to the Academy Vault. That's every single coaching session that we've done, topic by topic. So if you were to say how to lower a listing price when the market's not letting you, how do you like, you name a million topics, we can talk about it. Like how to ask for business, how to hire an assistant, how do you set up interviews for an assistant? Like it's going to be literally an entire turnkey academy. The cool thing is we're going to extract every question from these coaching calls. So what's going to happen is you're going to ask a question and it's going to be live right to me. You're going to say, Ben, I've got this listing and I need to get the price lowered and the guy doesn't want to lower his price. What do I do? Okay, just for example. And then we'd have a conversation. But the thing is why reading Q&A doesn't work is because you need context. Because I can't just answer your question. I'm going to say, what personality is he? How did you arrange the setup? Did you talk about lowering prices before you even came? Did you take the listing and you shouldn't have? I need to get context. That's why these questions are going to be really cool, and it's going to be very much scalable for everyone that is in real estate. I've got a million questions. I've answered the same one 50 times. We're going to record them. We're going to package them into 2 to 3 minute answers, maybe a 10-minute answer, and you're going to have a library in the vault that says, hey, I got listing questions. I've got new buyer questions. I've got bail and team questions, and it'll be a search engine for those Q&As. And so that's coming up. That's going to be something I'm actually pretty stoked about it. So I'm really thankful you let me share that. I've never shared it. This is the first time I've ever shared it publicly.
No, I'm excited.
Yeah, and then hopefully it leaves impact. If it doesn't do impact, I'm not interested.
Whoa.
If it doesn't actually work, you know what I mean? That's why the value's got to be there, right?
If you help me in my business, then that just benefits my charity. All right, so
yeah.
So Ben, it's dinner time in my household. And just to quickly share with you, just like you said, like, you know, if I could give everything up today, we'll sell everything, we'll move to Costa Rica, and we'll be just fine financially. So, you know, yeah, the question that people ask that all the time. I ask myself that all the time, like, why do we do what we do? And part of it is I want my charity to be a lot bigger. Right?
What's your charity? Tell me. You can't just tease me like that. I don't know nothing about it.
So,
is it your charity or something that someone else's charity you support?
I co-founded it. I'm the president. My wife is their CFO. You know, it's like that. Yeah, and everyone on the board is my friend. So
what do you do?
We help poor families. So 40 families in Hamilton. So we have the support of the school boards. So they told us who the worst, most hard up cases they got.
Yeah.
We had them fill out a 1-pager. Like, tell us about yourselves.
Yeah.
What does your family need? Right.
Yeah.
Give them space to describe each kid. What do they need?
Yeah.
And it's going to be awful. You know, that we get stories about mom just passed away from cancer, and we get stories about, you know, just arrived from Africa, got nothing.
Wow.
Right? And then these are the stories. And there's one story where they have a kid. Again, this is from the school's perspective, right? This is what they see. So they're saying how there's one kid that they have to keep a really close eye on him because often he comes to school without eating, right? And he's fainted in class before.
Wow.
Right. So I'm like, I get angry at this shit. I'm dropping F-bombs and I'm mad. Yeah. And then I channel it. Right.
Yeah.
So then I share this with my friends who have money. They donate to our cause. We're going to go out and shop and we're throwing a party. Yeah. You're talking about experience. God damn it. I should invite more of my clients. So we're donating a party. It was just like, we should have some food since the timing seems right. My buddy had a hot dog business, so we're gonna have hot dogs. We're gonna have pizza. We're gonna have cake. We have Batman coming. We have a DJ. I have a dinosaur costume. You know those big inflatable dinosaur costumes, like 8 feet tall.
That's amazing.
And it's like, wow, it actually sounds like a birthday party. It's like, yeah, let's call it a birthday party.
And so where are you holding this? So this is your charity. What's your charity called?
Hamilton Basket Brigade.
Hamilton
Basket Brigade.
Basket Brigade.
Yeah.
And you show up and you help needy families.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. I love that. So What's a shout out? It's on your friggin' podcast here, man. Let's shout it out. What's you probably have already. What's the website?
Oh man, I haven't talked about my own charity in ages.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it to you right now, because you're probably humble and I want to pull it out of you, because I think it's inspiring, to be honest. I got my wheels turning. That's good.
Yeah.
So is it a website?
Yeah, www.hamiltonbasketbrigade.com. And we're a registered charity. You know, that's the benefit of my wife being an accountant, right? We're a registered charity. We still have to go if we get a lawyer. But it's a corporation, right? So you understand that there's cost to that, and very cost prohibitive for many people. That's why many charities don't become registered. And we run it, we bootstrap. You know, it's all donated. Everything's donated. We have no salaries, right? Our overhead is like scissors, right? Yeah. Tape, wrapping paper. That's how we roll.
And so, how are you promoting it?
Through my own list. Yeah. Did I?
Now your podcast.
Yeah. Now my podcast. It all started with just me and my buddy Roger. We wanted to do 3 families each in Hamilton, and then it just blew up. He went to the school, told him what we needed, like give us 6 families. He goes, we got 16. Wow. They said we got 16. So me and Roger do well.
Holy crap, man!
Yeah, this is just one school. This is, and so we said, okay, we're not going to say no. Man.
It's amazing.
Like we feel responsible for this. No, we don't feel responsible for it, but we feel it's our duty to give back.
You gonna link this to your show notes?
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah,
you should. No, I like, honestly, man. Like I think it's so. I love it. I love it beyond love it. I used to live in the streets, man. I get it, and so like I love it because it's so freaking simple. Yeah. What do? Yeah. We find people that are families and we help them. Yeah. Like it's so simple. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And it's very tangible, and you can almost, like, anyone that gives you money, you could send a picture of the event. Done. You could invite them to the event. Like, it's super cool. There's so many ways. Everyone that puts money into your hands, you just got to blow them freaking away through the experience that you give the other people.
So that's
and
what
then let them experience that.
So a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, I've heard it referred to as the power of moments, right? And that is largely what's driven this experience, right? Because we used to just deliver food. And then, you know, they open the door. Sometimes they expect it, or like, who's this from, or like whatever. They're used to receiving food, right? So then we tweaked it. Like, I'm going heavy at the kids, right? So, for example, the family that I'm supporting, I bought them a princess tent, you know, so it's like they can hang out in it, and it's got like Christmas lights and stuff, right? Yeah, cool. I'm trying to blow their minds.
Love it. I mean? Yeah, you want it, man. You like. Dude, I remember being so hurting when I was living on the street, struggling. And my literally was living on the street. My parents had already, I think at one point they told my brother I was dead, and like I was just crazy, just hurting. Really, I was just hurting. But there was always this one guy that two guys would just take me out, and he would just buy me breakfast and lunch. One was an old biker, and one was this guy that was just a good old dude. And he just said, "Hey Ben, let's go out." It was just like, I remember that, man. Do I remember anyone else? Nope.
Yep. Yeah.
Just it's just love, right? Like, it's love. It's very, very powerful. So I'm super inspired with what you're doing. Just hits me right in the core. I'm thinking, should we do something at the event? Maybe put a little something out there. Maybe I'm just thinking of this. Yeah. I'll talk to you about it.
We're working out our media stuff right now. That's actually what I was doing before I spoke to you, is because power moments. And then the power moment, we do this for them, but we need to capture it, right? But to capture it, I need the media, because they play with a different set of rules than private business or private charity does.
So, right? You're gonna do a press release or something, or
no? I want your own. Like our local news companies to come and film it, right? Because they play by different rules. They don't have to follow all the privacy rules that we would have to.
Oh, interesting. Because they've got media. They've got I didn't know that. That's cool.
You're in a public space. They can capture you, right?
Yeah.
And we're at a school, and I didn't actually think about it, but the list that I have, well, actually almost all of our lists for the families, they're prepared by the parents. I don't think any of the kids know what's going to happen.
Oh, no way. And so is this a one neighborhood, or where is this? In a park?
So this is both Hamilton Catholic and public school boards. So it's all over Hamilton. Our instructions were just give us your worst, and it is awful.
So where's this? But where's the part? Where's the party?
The party's at I can't share it because we can't just have people show up. But it's a school in Hamilton. Oh, I
see.
Yeah, we can't have people showing up, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wow, man, I really appreciate that. I love that. It's more important than anything else, to be honest. Like I love that stuff. Love that when you can see when you can help someone and give them a little bit of love and you can shift them a little bit and like there's nothing. I think I'm going to be speaking at a school right after the event. At Ian Zabo is coming as a guest. By the way, we should give Ian Zabo a friggin' shout out. He's going to be coming and sharing his stories. He's an absolute guerrilla marketing guy. He now drives a short bus everywhere. Like this guy is like, I got to give him. I'm going to try to give him 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And so, but Ian and I are going to go do a small event at a school and speak to some of the most hurting kids. To be honest with you, that's like equally as exciting as the maybe more. To be honest, exciting to go share with a group of really hurting kids, share my story, that there's hope, So I can't wait. That's also in the Toronto trip.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. But where this works out with the money story is part of why we work hard is because I want to leave $1 million to our charity. And that's supposed to be foundation money. So my expectation is that we can earn somewhere between 6 to 10% a year, however passively, and that will fund the charity, the activity.
Well, your investments probably can do, even without $1 million, you could have a good fat cash flow too, Yeah. If you buy that $1 million, you might be able to buy a mall or something that can fund their, I don't know. Do you own any commercial property?
No, just residential.
Residential.
Gotcha. But yeah. All right. I gotta run to dinner, Ben. This has been awesome. But you're over time. I don't even know if you're looking at the clock.
I got into your charity. I thought I had a feeling that it just needed some time, and I'd like to hear about it too. So,
thanks, Ben. But yeah. I'll send you some video, and
do it.
Yeah, because we're doing it all again for Christmas, and that's a funny thing. We're doing this for Thanksgiving, and people are like, "You're doing this for Thanksgiving?" Like,
yeah, that's good. I love that.
And like, put yourself in the shoes of the kid, if they even own shoes. Would you do you ever not want a wrapped gift?
No doubt, man. No doubt. I wish I was in town to come see it.
Yeah, and again, my after sharing this with my team, sharing my vision, the second thought was, I think we should go reach out to Kleenex to sponsor us.
Yeah, there's an entrepreneur.
Because emotionally, this is so hard. Yeah. This has been so hard to read 40 of these damn stories about the hardships people are going through.
And we have it so good, man. I was raising rich kids. It's hard to not, but
yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, beauty man. I won't keep this going. I think I just heard your stomach growl. So
thanks, Tim, man.
Thanks a lot, seriously. Cheers, man.
Email me all the links, would you?
Oh yeah, you will. I'll do it right away.
All right, awesome.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
Bye.